today I would like to talk about the rules reboot package for the 2025 OKGOP State Convention. Um, so as a state party, we have rules that govern our party. And so I'm going to kind of walk through our current rules and then what has changed in the new rules. This new package was put together by Emily Garltz from Oklahoma County. And Emily did a really good job. And one thing that needs to be said on the outset is this is simply a rearrangement of the rules. It does not change any rules or the intent of any rules. And so what this is doing is this is setting it up for future changes to be made, for any potential duplication of rules to be looked at. But this is not changing our rules. It's simply putting them in a more orderly fashion that are more easy for all of us to deal with and use. So let me share my screen. There it is. So Emily has put together an entire website regarding this reboot package. And if you want to look here and review any of it, I would highly recommend it. There's multiple documents that went into building this, and so all of that can be reviewed here. She does have a resolution, and this is where she just kind of lays out why she put forward this reorganization. And this is one of the most important things. The existing bylaws have a mix of general topics and then a mix of specific committees, and there's repetition and duplication and conflicting and contradictory areas in the rules. So not only does every single committee have a paragraph on how to call a meeting, which are almost identical, but then as the rules have been amended and changed over the years, one may have a hanging comment from a previous version that a different committee doesn't. And so we've actually, those of us who have used the rules extensively over the last few years have seen how, oh man, like it's really complicated because you read all these different things and there can be just slight differences. And that makes for just contradictory application and questions and making it more complex. So let me just give you guys one example. So this is your county executive committee, and this is the current state rules. And so in the current state rules, you'll see that it's formatted in these long paragraphs. And this can lead to just a harder time understanding what's intended, what a comma means, things like this. And we've gotten down to those nitty-gritty of kind of situations when interpreting these rules. And so you've got these big long paragraphs describing this committee. And so what Emily has done is she went through these rules and hang on, I want this version first. And she tagged every single concept as a separate sentence. And the idea is that the new rules will have a number for each rule. So instead of saying within rule 7A, it says if it shall later become unnecessary to remove blah, 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 and you're in the middle of a paragraph and you're trying to find it, what Emily did is made this a separate item. Okay, so every single comment is tagged. And you can see right here, she lists all of the tags she created. This was an incredible amount of work. And then once she identified those 369 individually identified separate sentences, then she went and built a version that's built in a more logical and more in line with parliamentary procedure set of rules. And so here now you have, well, this is the congressional district committees, but you have all your different committees. Here's your Republican County Central Committee, for example. And instead of those long paragraphs of who sits on a committee, you have them listed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in a very simple way, you can see who all those are. As you can see, the changes she made were just, changing it from a sentence format to a list format. So she had to capitalize all those T's. Every single thing like this has been laid out in this document so you can see all of that. And what this is going to do, let me scroll up on this real quickly. So now you have this beautiful table of contents. And it shows, there you go, it shows exactly every single rule. So now we'll have an index that is more usable by our members. Instead of having stuff buried in paragraphs, you'll just be like, oh, there's the precinct committees. How do I go do that? And you can go and click on that and go straight to that section. And then the other thing is, instead of each rule, so let me show you. Every single committee in this document, there's about 8 to 10 committees, has composition and appointment, authorities and duties, meetings, vacancies. Okay. What Emily has done is that she has created elections to be one section that governs our entire party. And so when you're like, oh, I got to fill a vacancy on my precinct committee or whatever, you can go straight to that section. And within that section, then there you go. Then she has listed each of those committees. If a precinct chairman position is vacant, and she's moved this language, die moved from the county, to a more understood position, here you go. Here is deemed vacant. So deemed vacant is listed once in the rules, and then the precinct chairman position is explained right here and how it's filled. Then what if a vice chair, secretary, treasurer? That's how that gets filled. What if, a county committee is vacant? That's how that gets filled. And we go through every single committee that way. But this is a way to make our rules a lot more usable. I have talked to many people across the state in trying to understand and use these rules properly to be a party that respects the rule of law and respects the rights of our members. And so I think that Emily's package is going to put us in a position where we can really use these rules together to work together to build this party, to spend less time disagreeing about a comma here or a little hanging clause there, and instead work together as the party on those things that we want to accomplish and have more agreement on these rules because they'll be more clearly laid out. So I hope that's helpful. I look forward to state convention on Saturday. We will have an opportunity to vote on this entire package. And there is information at okgrassroots.com about this package. You can also link from okgrassroots.com to Emily's website and see all the files that I shared. And I hope to see you all Saturday.